is a paid program. JJ Publicidad, EMR, and its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guest.
Are you looking for awareness, motivation, inspiration, or just some feel-good talk radio? If so, you've come to the right place. Dr. Nancy knows how to do just that. With her extensive experience and knowledge, she is dedicated to providing care, health, and wellness information and education to the greater Phoenix metropolitan area and beyond. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Dr. Nancy knows. Starts now.
Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone? Welcome. I'm your medical celebrity doctor, and this is Dr. Nancy Knows. You know, this is the show where guests that are experts in their field of industry come on the show to talk about their experiences, their journeys, and what they're doing in the community. And we also sprinkle celebrity guests on the show and come in to tell us exactly the same thing. Remember, here at Dr. Nancy Knows, we are multicultural. We are bridging the gap of disparity and uniting the nation as a whole. Everyone, you know it is Women's History Month, and I am excited to let you know of what has been happening this month so far on Women's History Month. But first, I'd like to thank my sponsors and supporters and let you all know that we are on all social media platforms. Dr. Nancy Knows can be watched anywhere across the nation and internationally. So listen, you can tune in on Spotify or WhatsApp, or I think it's TuneIn it's called. Yes. Now listen, our sponsors. I'd like to thank the radio station here, Emotion Radio, Entre Mujeres, Javier, Julian, and Veronica for allowing me to bring my voice to many of you each and every week. Thank you, guys. Revision with David Tucker. He's a medical device national distribution company. He and his team are strong supporters. Thank you, David. Profit Laser Lipo. That's Gary Charlson. Hey, Gary. Thank you for your support. Maggie's Makeup. She works her magic on me every morning, and if you like the way I look, you can have this look too, right down to the lashes as well. It's all day long makeup wear, very professional. She's a licensed certified makeup artist, and how fortunate am I to have her a part of the team, Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine. If you'd like to have her do your makeup for any special occasion, event, party, quinceañera, any of those sort of things, she can be reached at 480-669-6452. Thanks, Maggie. Our friends at Ally Spine Center, that is Dr. Christopher Condon, and also Laser Spa at Sonoma. That's Peter and Lynn. Thank you, guys. So let's get down to Women's History Month. What is on tap? Now listen, I do want to tell you that Michelle Obama and a few other women too, strong month. Michelle Obama was inducted in the United States National Women's Hall of Fame recently. Kudos to Michelle. She is a leading example of, you know, what women can do in this country. Definitely. Really appreciate that. Now listen, I do want to give you some facts. You know, women entrepreneurs are the strongest, they are the fastest growing in the industry in the nation here. So women, continue to live out your dreams, I do want to give you a couple of quotes. The first one is about facts, right? And all of us can use this, and here at Dr. Nancy Knows, it's no different. We're here to motivate. We are here to inspire and give you hope. So let's get that facts quote up, and it relates to just about anyone. Facts. There we are. No matter how long it takes you to finish a degree, it's a degree. If it took you 10 failed relationships to find love, you found it. A house bought at the age of 65 is still an accomplishment. Don't let people bully you with their timelines of success. And then just one other quote I want to say is the never give up quote. And it's for everyone here. Never give up. Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with the big dream is more powerful than the one with all the facts. That's a quote by Albert Einstein. I also want to tell you that President Obama he nominated 2 groundbreaking women to lead joint military commands this month. And it is Air Force Journal Jacqueline von Ovost. She leads the U.S. Transportation Command, and Army Lieutenant Laura J. Richardson. She leads the U.S. Southern Command. And this is what President Obama had to say about these 2 young ladies. 2 outstanding and eminently qualified warriors and patriots. And then you see there's our VP, Kamala Harris, right? So this is what I want. I want every little girl to see what vice presidents and generals of the United States Armed Forces look like. Dream big, ladies. Dream big. Dream until your dreams come true. Okay, great. Now let's talk about COVID. COVID is still around, but listen, kudos to everyone doing your part. Staying home when you're sick, practicing social distancing, still wearing your mask when appropriate. Absolutely, still the case. It's very, very important. And the vaccine. The vaccine is doing what it needs to do. It is decreasing all of our numbers and cases across the country and worldwide. There has been, here in the United States, over 65 million vaccines have been delivered, first shot or single dose, depending on which vaccine you got. But we are steadfast as a nation, and our leaders are as well, and to get out as many vaccines and to have everybody. It's been proposed that by May 1st, it's a long shot and it is a goal. So goals are meant to be achieved, right? So these goals are set out that most Americans will be vaccinated. And hopefully by July 4th, we can celebrate, right? We can celebrate as a nation together. So those numbers are going down. Now listen, I do want to tell you that 25% of the United States population makes up children and adolescents. Now, I know many of you are concerned about, well, when does the vaccine become available for children and or adolescents? And in fact, is it at all? Are they working on that? Well, yes, they are. They are working on it, and they're working on the appropriate dose for children ages 5 to 11 and also adolescents from the age of 12 to 16. Pfizer is also recommending that perhaps individuals may need a 3rd booster dose of vaccine annually as well. Now, you know, Johnson & Johnson has been the 3rd pharmaceutical company to start offering COVID vaccines, and one of their competitors, Merck, has actually helped manufacture that as well. So kudos to everyone. Now listen, remember, you want to plan your vaccine. There's a lot of organizations around the country, stadiums, local community colleges that are offering the vaccine, but everyone needs to register and make an appointment. Now that has been a little bit of a challenge in the past, but our leaders have been paving the way and making sure that everyone has access to getting an appointment to get in to get the vaccine. Now listen, all your smartphones, you can just hover over your camera mode for that QR code, and anywhere in the nation, that link will tell you where vaccines are held and where you can get them scheduled as well. So listen, you know, we're always looking for sponsors and guests to come on the show, and if that sounds like someone and you would like to do that, drnancyknows.com is where you can go. Click on the guest tab, and it'll show you where you can go to register to be, evaluated for such a thing, to be a sponsor and to be a guest on the show. I'm always looking for individuals that really are doing things in the community, that are making a difference and have a story to share. Because here at Dr. Nancy Knows, it's not only what I know, it's who I know, and be the change that you wish to see in this world. And it doesn't matter the amount of money you have or the amount of education you have. If you have a dream and a purpose, then you should work toward that. It's about the people, the relationships, the connections that you make in this world. Align yourself with individuals that support you attaining your dream. Mentors are extremely, extremely important. This past week, I coined another phrase. Remember, last week it was relax, recharge, and release. I had a phenomenal week, and I'm always looking for content, connections, information to bring you all that is very good and meaningful and things that you can use in your life. So here's a new phrase that I coined. Faith, follow, find. Without faith, and stepping out blindly can be a challenge at times and oftentimes a scary place. But believe in yourself and just know that your God and that higher power being, that energy, that which you seek seeks you back, will find you. Keep one foot in front of the other. Do not let fear paralyze you, and know that you've got this. You can do this. Perseverance, resilience, and dedication. Now, we're going to be talking about those words with our upcoming guest on the next segment, and that is Ramatulahi Jalloh. She's beautiful. She's got a beautiful spirit. She's got a beautiful story. And I think that many people can connect and relate that at the end of the day, never give up on your dreams, no matter what people tell you, whether you can do it or not. Now here, Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine has a new service that she wants to let you all know of. Now doing drug screening, evaluations, and exams all in the same day. So if you are an organization or you're applying for a new job because the job market is up and people are hiring again, or the facilities, restaurants, gyms are opening, of course, and some employers do want this. And I don't know that a lot of people know where they can get this. Well, Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine offers that as well. NG cares about you. NG Care's healthcare membership plans are membership plans that are a yearly subscription where Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine, healthcare providers, and affiliates become your preferred healthcare provider. And they provide medical services of health and maintenance, chronic illnesses, immunizations, blood work, physical exams, and also chiropractic services. 12 visits a year, so you get one visit a month with our friends at Ally Spine Center. We do have several affiliates throughout the valley as well. Now, NG Cares also has paycheck protection. So it specifically markets to the business owners, and if you want to know more information, you can go to ngcares.com. Remember, it's not only what Dr. Nancy knows, but it's who she knows, and we'll be back with Dr. Jalloh. She doesn't like to be considered a doctor, but she has a doctorate degree, and I want to do her justice by doing that. She's an attorney at law, and you don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
You don't want to miss what's coming up next because Dr. Nancy knows. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nancy. Welcome to our clinics. We believe that personalized care and relationship building are the basis of improving health outcomes. At Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine, you gain healthcare providers who take the time to understand your health goals and find solutions. We offer optional medical memberships giving you peace of mind and quality care. We provide both medical and aesthetic services in 2 Arizona locations. We practice the highest standards of patient care. We respect patients' rights. We safeguard patient confidences. We treat patients with compassion. You are invited to call the office to schedule an appointment or online at a time that is convenient for you. Call to schedule 480-669-6452 or visit our website at drnanciesintegrativemedicine.com. Are you a business owner looking for ways to invest in your staff's health? Their well-being is key to a long-lasting employment life. NG Care's healthcare membership packages allow you to leverage pre-tax dollars in applicable tax health incentives. Hi, I'm Dr. Nancy of Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine, introducing NG Care's healthcare membership packages to include primary care and injury office visits, management of acute and chronic disease, 24/7 telehealth services, preventative care, labs, immunizations, and chiropractic office visits. You receive discounts on diagnostics and services offered at Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine as a preferred member. Combine this with paycheck protection plans such as accident, short-term disability, hospital bridge, and a life insurance is priceless. 2 plans to choose from, Elite and or Pro. Packages starting at as low as $225 a month. Remember, NG cares about you. For more information, you can go to ngcares.com or call us today at 480-669-6452.
You're listening to Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show. Ask your questions now. Dr. Nancy is listening.
Hello, we are back, and I'd like to introduce to you all my next guest. Ramatulahi Jalloh, Esquire, is a former refugee from Sierra Leone, now living in the United States. She is a first-generation attorney licensed to practice in Washington, D.C. Rama endeavors to be kind and approach every challenge with empathy for others. It helps her discover her own intentions and pathway into the legal field. She is passionate about the law as she helps clients resolve their disputes and intellectual challenges of the law's complexity. Her focus areas are international investment treaty arbitration, commercial arbitration, public international law, international trade, and human rights. She holds a Doctor of Law degree from Thurgood Marshall of Law and Bachelor of Arts from Pennsylvania State University. She has worked at the United Nations Commission of International Trade Law, where she researched and drafted on investor-state dispute settlement reform. Prior to graduating law school, she worked for Fong and Langen in Houston, where she assisted treaty investors from China and Angola to develop and direct their investment enterprise into the United States. She has worked for a firm in Morocco and for YMCA International Services. In her spare time, when she's not advocating for women, she's watching Korean drama or trying international cuisine or spending time with family and friends. Without further ado, I'd love to introduce to you Ramatulahi Jalloh. How you doing, Rama? Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, Dr. Nancy. Thank you for inviting me and for allowing me to share my stories with your audience. Thank you very much.
You're so amazing. You're so inspiring. You're young and beautiful. And many of our young girls need to see that, listen, whatever you want to dream, you can become, no matter what the obstacles.
Definitely. You just have to keep on dreaming and believe in yourself.
That's exactly right. And you know, Rama, I believe that when we were talking, you was told that you could not ever be a lawyer. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, listen to that. You all, listeners, listen. If you want to fuel somebody, tell them they can't be whatever it is that they want to be, right? You know, tell them no. That will fire up an individual, that's for sure. Now, listen, like-minded individuals, you and I, we spoke about the connection that individuals should feel when one another meet one another, right? Because it's about your energy. And you had something specific to say about energy. You said it's very powerful. It affects your mood, is what you said. So can you tell us a little bit about who is Rama in your journey, please?
Thank you, definitely. My name is Ramatulahi Jalloh. I'm originally from Sierra Leone, West Africa. I moved from Sierra Leone to Nigeria as a refugee because of the civil war that happened in Sierra Leone when I was about 3 or 4 years old. I lived in Nigeria till I was about 13 years old. And living in Nigeria with my family, I experienced a lot of difficulties, suffering. My mom had to braid hair, and also we sold hibiscus flower and ginger to earn an income to provide us for our education and also to bring food on the table. So there were a lot of struggles living in Nigeria, and there were also good times. And I moved to the United States when I was about 13 years old. And when I just moved here, it was a culture shock. It was very difficult for me to adjust and live in the environment because I did not have any friends at that time. And going through middle school and high school was difficult for me to make new friends. So what I did was I joined organization, and also I was in the soccer team in ninth and 10th grade. That helped me get adjust to the environment and also make new friends. Going through that, I've always known that I wanted to be a lawyer since when I was young, since when I lived in Nigeria, even going through the refugee camp back and forth and living in the city in Lagos. And when I went to undergrad at Penn State University, I joined an organization called the Pure Law Fraternity, and that helped me gain more insight on what it's like to study law. I did a program at the law school at Penn State, Explore Law program, that you spend a week at the law school and meet attorneys, you meet law students. They help you prepare you with your personal statement, your letters of recommendation. That helped me. And after undergrad, I applied for law school, but I didn't get accepted to any law school my first time. And this was because I didn't do well on my LSAT. So when I found that I didn't get accepted to any law school, I decided to work and find a job in a law firm. For the next 6 months, I applied and applied for jobs, but I didn't get accepted until a law firm called me in Philadelphia, and I was working there for a month. And after a month, I was fired because I was making a lot of mistakes. But I was not the only one making mistakes. There were other employees who were making the same mistakes. And when I met up with the hiring manager told me maybe law should not be for me. Maybe I should do something else. So it was very hurt. Like, I was very hurtful at that time. I was very depressed. It affected me mentally and emotionally. And at that time, I was very young. I was just about 21, 22. So it affected my self-esteem. I doubted myself. Like, can I really study law? So just by the words of my mom, my family, like words of encouragement, the support, and also God helped me get through that that path during that time. And what I did, I started volunteering in my community to help refugees like myself at that time to adjust to the new environment. So what I would do is visit their home and give them cultural orientation and just to help them adapt to the new environment, like teaching them things that we know that they do not know. Doing that during that time and also studying for the LSAT again, I did that and then my score improved from my previous score and I applied to law school and I got accepted to Thurgood Marshall School of Law in Texas. So when I got accepted there, I was very excited. My family was very happy, especially my mom. I went to Texas. I studied law for 3 years there. And after graduation, I prepared for the bar exam my first time, and I was not successful. I failed my first time. And then I did it again my second time. I failed. And then my third time, that was when I passed. I passed on my third try. So after I passed, I recently got admitted to the DC bar in Washington, D.C. And now I'm an attorney.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And listen, everyone, she said so much. And Rama, I do want to ask you, you said ever since a little girl you wanted to learn law. And my question is, how did you know law was something that you wanted to learn? And then two, failure. Dr. Nancy knows I'm always talking about, listen, we look perfect today, but we all have a journey. And, you cannot live in someone else's shoes because, well, failure is imminent. If you want to be successful at something, it's win and learn, not win and loss. So, if you fail at something, get up, and what is your takeaway from that? What is your takeaway? Okay, you made many mistakes. Well, then you created yourself and started volunteering your time. And then, your skill set got better, your LSAT scores got better, and then, all right, the bar. Not many people want to share and be transparent to say, listen, I didn't pass it on the first, I didn't even pass it on the second, but I passed it on the third. And so listen, everyone, it's okay to fail, but it's what you choose to do with it after you do that. Get back up, brush yourself off, and go back in. So now let's go back to that question about law. You said at an early age, how did you know law was what you wanted to do?
So maybe during that time, I didn't know what refugee meant. To be honest, I learned what refugee meant when I was in law school because I took refugee and asylum courses. And going through high school and also undergrad, because I joined the pre-law fraternity, that helped me gain more insight to learn about what law is. So when I started doing some research and speaking to attorneys, it just opened my mind more into it, and then I fell in love because I love anything that involves intellectual challenges. Like, I don't like anything to be easy. I like to work hard and achieve my goals. So that's what got me into law.
That's amazing. That's really, really good. And, nothing that you want is easily obtained. If it comes so easily to you, then it's really not meant to be. Now, that's different from blessings when you're walking in your destiny. Blind faith and just trusting and believing that those individuals that are critical to your success will just really come out of the woodwork and knock on your door and say, how may I be of service? You know why? Because you are stepping outside of your comfort zone and walking in the path that you were destined to be in. That's different. But definitely, working hard has never, ever been a bad thing. Awesome. Okay, so your mentors, you've mentioned your mother, your family. Any other types of mentors along your way that has instilled in you to make you this beautiful person that you are and ever evolving and growing? Because, right, we're always growing and change is constant, that's for sure. Who else has been instrumental in paving the way for you?
To be honest, it just has been my mom and my sister because my mom, she never had the opportunity to earn an education, living in Africa today. And her story also inspired me and also my sister, and that's what has gotten me through. Their words of encouragement, their support, unconditional love, that's what got me through, and also God, and believing in God, and having faith in God. With all the failures that I've been through, it was very difficult during those times, but I'm very grateful to go through those struggles because I believe it has contributed to my immense growth as an individual. And you have to go through those struggles in order for you to experience and be the human being you are today. And it's okay to fail because people sometimes tend to focus only on the success story and not talk about their failures. And I believe in being transparent and being realistic and explaining how I've gotten to where I am here today.
That's very, very important because, if you're not transparent, one would think perhaps you may be elusive, aloof, secretive. But, that ultimately comes out in the end. And being transparent will get you to where you need to be a lot faster. And it'll allow you to determine if that's the path or course you want to take because of your transparency. And so it kind of speeds up time to allow you to continue to grow and discover who you are and to be the best that you can be. Absolutely. Now, how about legacies and, your American dream, Rama? Do you feel like you're doing that, and what are you doing to leave a legacy behind?
So, by sharing my story and to inspire others, that's my goal in life, to serve humanity and just show someone who is a former refugee, because there are a lot of like people who are refugee out there who don't believe that they can achieve any goal that they may have. So by sharing my story, it's an opportunity for them to connect and relate to my story, and that way they can believe in themselves. They can believe that, oh, I can be like her. Oh, I can achieve my dreams in whatever. It can be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, however.
Awesome. Very good. Now, what are you doing in the community right now in terms of practicing in Washington, D.C.? Your bar was in Texas, I believe it was, as well. Um, you know, is there a particular firm that you may be interested in, or a type of international reform or laws that you view that you want to be a part of to maintain equality, right? Diversity in these processes?
Yes, definitely. So I took the bar in DC. It's in DC. So I'm licensed to practice in DC, and my focus areas are in international law. And I'm passionate about international law, and I love everything international law, and also passionate about women's rights and diversity in the legal profession, because there is not much diversity in the legal profession, and being a woman of color is also an opportunity to be a representation for other women and other young women law students who are interested in the law. And I'm passionate about women's rights and would like to see more changes that would happen in the world today that we're living in this month of international women's right.
That's
I
right.
because I was a former victim of FGM, and what FGM is female genital mutilation, and what that is the cutting or the partial cutting of the female genital exterior area. And I went through that when I was about 8 years old in Nigeria. And the practice, it's an inhumane practice that's been happening over a period of a long time in Africa, in the Middle East, in Asia. And sharing my story as a former victim is an opportunity to bring awareness, just to put an end to this practice, because there's been over 200 million women and young girls who have undergone this practice, and it doesn't really benefit women and young girls. And in my culture, in my community where I come from, this practice is done to, I guess they say, to purify the woman, the girl, so that she's not promiscuous, doesn't sleep around. That's the reason, and it has completely nothing to do with religion. And I just want to share my story as a former victim to bring awareness to it, so and they can put an end to this practice.
And now that's very important. And I know you're a strong proponent of women's advocacy and in the FMG as well. Now, is what has to take place in order for this to stop in so many countries? I believe it's like 21 countries I read. How do we start the process to bring more awareness to the countries, these homes and villages, organizations? How do we put a stop to that?
First, the women have to be taught. Women who are practicing this procedure have to be taught that it doesn't benefit the woman, because it's sad to say it's women who are doing this. Women who are older generation, they have to be educated and know that this is not the way. This will not benefit girls or women, because there are health implications to it. Some women cannot have kids. Some women die from it. And most of the time when this is practiced, women are not, they are not under anesthesiology. They are not under that, and it's crazy. So in order for this to stop, women have to be educated. They have to learn the health implication, how it affects young girls and women, and also affect young girls' self-esteem, because something like that happening to a girl and also growing up to an adult woman, it affects you mentally. It's very traumatic, because myself, I can still remember the image and the scream. It's something that I can never remove. It's just so vivid. So, yeah.
No, totally understandable. And, some cultures are a little bit different. I was speaking to a Native American here. We have a lot of the reservations here in Arizona. And this young man was saying, listen, these organizations are going after the wrong group of individuals, and if they want change to be effective in our culture. And he was stating that, listen, the education needs to be given to the adults, to the older generations, and that's where that information gets trickled down to them. And it's almost the complete opposite here in the United States, for the most part, is to nurture and educate the youth so that when they grow up, they institute change. So it is very different in each culture as to how to start this process of healing and to stop and put an end to female mutilation, genital mutilation.
Definitely, yeah, because it's something that's passed on from one generation to the next generation. So to them, it's nothing. It's just like their cultural practice. It's not very serious to them. So they're used to it, and they feel like they don't have to change, or they don't have to put an end to it. But it's slowly, step by step. And also, victims who have experienced it can also try and share their story that way to put an end to it. Although it's a very, very sensitive and private topic to talk about, and it takes a lot of courage.
It really does.
And also it can be a taboo subject to talk about. Even me, myself, I know it's a taboo subject to talk about in my community, but I'm all about bringing awareness, and I'm not afraid to speak up, even if the whole world is against me. And that's the principle that I live by.
Wow, you're so brave. Really appreciate you sharing your story today. Really appreciate you. And I know that you belong to an organization that you support as well, and it's the Power of World Women, and it's powerofworldwomen.com. It's a nonprofit organization. Tell us a little bit about this organization.
Yes, definitely. So I'm a member of POW, called it Power of World Women, and what we do there is inspire and empower other women to give them an opportunity to share their stories and bring awareness to any issues that involves women. And what my job is there, we do is I reach out to guests because we have podcasts. I reach out to guests, to potential guests who are interested in sharing their stories. And for the month right now, since it's International Women's Month, this whole month we've been bringing awareness to men who are supportive of women. And this will be our first time having a guest who are men because we all have guests who are women. So it's a good organization that I'm very grateful to be part of, and I very very supportive of my with my other team members and also the founder, because the founder, who is Kat, I met her when I at a program that I did at the United Nations in New York, and since then we've kept in contact. And then she reached out to me because she know I'm also passionate about women's rights, and from there I've been involved in the organization.
Well, that is amazing. Powerofworldwomen.com is a women-led project that fosters women empowerment, educations, inspires, and amplifies the voices of women unknown outside their communities. PAL.com. Really support your causes in your community. It's women advocacy, it's Women's International Month. Support your causes. In order to be heard, you need to be actively involved in your communities. Rama, we are out of time for this segment, but you are sticking around for the next. We have so many more questions to ask you. Remember, it's not only what Dr. Nancy knows, but it's who she knows. We'll be right back.
You don't want to miss what's coming up next because Dr. Nancy knows. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nancy. Welcome to our clinics. We believe that personalized care and relationship building are the basis of improving health outcomes. At Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine, you gain healthcare providers who take the time to understand your health goals and find solutions. We offer optional medical memberships giving you peace of mind and quality care. We provide both medical and aesthetic services in 2 Arizona locations. We practice the highest standards of patient care. We respect patients' rights. We safeguard patient confidences. We treat patients with compassion. You are invited to call the office to schedule an appointment or online at a time that is convenient for you. Call to schedule 480-669-6452 or visit our website at drnanciesintegrativemedicine.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nancy of Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine. I'd like to tell you about a service that I offer, ProFit Laser Lipo. Did you know that you could lose up to 2 inches in 20 minutes, no downtime, pain, or surgery? 8 sessions are recommended for maximum results. Call today, 480-669-6452, or schedule online at drnanciesintegrativemedicine.com.
You're listening to Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show. Ask your questions now. Dr. Nancy is listening.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Women's History Month, and our guest is Ramatulahi Jalloh, and she is an attorney at law specializing in international law. Welcome back, Rama.
Thank you.
So listen, I know that where we left off was you advocating for women and their rights. Are there any other organizations that you support and advocate for with regard to women's rights? And I do understand that you have a blog, but perhaps even some upcoming speaking engagements and events as the country opens up. Any upcoming projects?
Yes, I do have upcoming interviews that I have been invited to speak at to inspire other young women, other women who are immigrants, just like myself, and also to share my story a bit about FGM to bring awareness to gender-based violence. So those are the upcoming projects that I have, and currently also looking for opportunities in the international arbitration field, and in a law firm, in an institution, or in any government area. And with the COVID situation right now, it's been very difficult, but I'm very grateful and keeping positive because the challenges, like all the challenges I've experienced, is preparing me for the next. So I'm staying positive.
That's exactly right. And I often say that there's levels to this thing we call life in our journey. And, you get to repeat it again if you're not successful and you don't learn these lessons. And you're absolutely right. You are preparing for your next journey, your next level on this journey. And I understand that you actually took a vacation because, remember, I often say here, Dr. Nancy Knows, make yourself a priority. My term, relax, recharge, and release, it's very, very important.
Yes, it definitely is. It's very, very important for your mental health to live in the moments, to be present and appreciate the little things that you have. And what has helped me, especially with my mental health, with all the struggle I've been through, is expressing gratitude. Expressing gratitude of why are you alive, and having a room, having a roof over your head, and also having food on your table, breathing, and just being thankful to God. That's what has helped me with my mental health. And also knowing the great qualities that you have and as an individual, and also knowing your flaws. Because if you know these qualities and your flaws, you know who you are, you know your purpose. And also, whenever you're feeling depressed, or when you're feeling having anxieties, or when things are not going your way, just submit and surrender. Submit and surrender to God, because that's what really helped me, especially when I failed the bar exam my second time. It didn't affect me like the first time, because the first time it affected me like really bad. But my second time, I did not. I understood what it means to submit and surrender to the will of God, because I believe some challenges that we experience in life are a test from God, and it's an opportunity for you to learn about Him and bring you closer to Him. And that's really, really helped me. And I haven't really said much about this, but that's the biggest, growth within myself.
Is your faith.
Yeah, it's my faith. It really is my faith. And also focusing on what I'm in control of and what I'm not. I leave it to God, because there are some things that you cannot control, and that's a fact. And doing that really helped me. I felt a peace within myself when I just let it go, things that I'm not in control of, and just surrounding myself with positive energy, and that can be people who are in your life, or the type of information that you consume on a daily basis. That's very, very, very important. It's really important to not focus on the negative energy, because if you focus on the negative energy, it will take control over you, and you really don't want that, because it will affect your mental health. And
That's so true. Again, it's, that which you seek seeks you back, and whatever you're throwing out in that universe is going to come right back to you. You've said some really important things, too, about just getting back to the basics of life. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's quite simple, actually. People make it complicated. And believing in yourself, of course, and knowing what your weaknesses are. I often tell my young mentees, align yourself with individuals that are doing something that you're weak at, not so good at. Because when you two come together, you're powerful. Powerful. And so I do love that idea about strengthening your resolve, surrendering, and growing in your faith. Because without a higher being, without God, we wouldn't even be here. So allowing yourself to be a humble servant and to be downloaded in, to be the messenger. Absolutely. And when you do that, you get filled up with all the necessary things for you to continue on that divine journey of yours. That's amazing, absolutely. Okay, any advice that you'd like to give some of our young ladies that are listening to our broadcast today?
Yes, definitely. First and foremost, never ever give up. I always say this, never ever ever give up. And in anything that you would like to achieve in life, know why you want to achieve that. Whether it's being a lawyer, a doctor, why? What are your intentions? Because knowing this will help you get through. In case if you're going through struggles and challenges you're facing, just going back to your reasons why you want to become this person will help you get through it, and not doing things just to please others. You cannot please others, you can only please God, because sometimes we tend to focus on only pleasing others or seeking validation from others, and that will not help you. You will only get hurt. You just find yourself getting hurt. And also, just being humble and being kind. Be kind to others and be of service to others. And yeah, those are the things that I would really share with young
That's
girls.
important. You know, sometimes, some people bring out the worst in you, and you often struggle with that reason why. But really, ultimately, you really want to be the best for yourself, and then in turn, you can be the best for someone else. And I love your answer regarding advice. Know why you chose what you decided to do, because at the end of the day, that's what you come back and fall back on. No matter what people say, no matter how you failed at something, know your why. That's really, really important. I love that. I do. Okay, awesome. So listen, Rama, can you tell people how they can get a hold of you, in touch with you if they want to seek some advice, want to connect with you on the women's advocacy level, on a mentor level? How do we get in touch with you?
Yes, definitely. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn by my name, Ramatulahi Jalloh. And also I'm on Instagram at r.jalloh_. And I'm also on Facebook, but I'm mostly active on LinkedIn and on Instagram. I'm happy to help any students, anyone interested in studying law, and it can also be law, just anyone struggling through life. If you need words of encouragement and in whatever, I'm happy to help.
Well, see, that's incredible, because you know that you're in the presence of a good being when they offer help. Help and hope and inspiration and motivation, that's all free. We all know that it can be a struggle to obtain things that we want in life, but the struggle is very real. But when it comes to someone asking you advice, it should be freely given, because the gifts that you were blessed with are meant to be given away. And you see how easy it was for Rama to just roll off all of that information, in addition to all of the other services that she can help you with. And she truly means that. She's very well connected. We have connected on LinkedIn, Instagram, telephone back and forth as well, but she's very responsive, everyone. And she truly means it, and I know that you can see the value, the honesty and sincerity that's coming from her, and the bravery, not to mention. Really appreciate that so much, Rama.
Thank you, Dr. Nancy. Thank you.
So listen, now you are going to stick around for my next segment, and now
Boost your awareness, thereby increasing your health and wealth.
So on this segment, Dr. Nancy Knows often really wants to give helpful tips on how to boost your awareness regarding health and wealth. And oftentimes those two, they commingle, because without wealth, you don't have health. Without health, how can you have wealth? So definitely, what do you have for us today, Rama?
Yes, definitely. Like I've mentioned earlier, first, express gratitude. every day. Take time to express gratitude of why are you living, why are you breathing, knowing your purpose in life, focusing on the things that you have that others may not have. Focus on the things that you have right now that you did not have 5 years ago. And also focus on what you're in control of. And what you're not in control of, leave it to the Almighty. And surrounding yourself with positive energy, with people who are around you, who are there to support you, to uplift you, and stay far away from negative energy, because energy really affects our environment. It affects our mood. And it affects you, especially if you have a low self-esteem, you're not very strong-willed, it can affect you. So focusing on positive energy and surrounding yourself with great people who are there for you to uplift you and support you. And having this mindset, it's an opportunity to nurture your soul, and it contributes to your well-being.
I love that. Nurturing the soul sounds so soothing. Now, give us an example of what you mean when you say positive energy, Rama. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, so growing up, I did not really know what it meant, positive energy and negative energy. But I've realized as you get older, it can be the friends that you have, or it can be the people who you're surrounded with. People have told me that I cannot be a lawyer. People have looked down on me because of the type of person I am. I'm very reserved to myself, and that affected me mentally. But I later realized that it has nothing to do with me, it's their insecurities. Like, I'm so far away from that. And knowing that really helped me. It helped believe in myself, build confidence within myself, because I did not have that. And that's when I was able to differentiate what it means to have to be in a negative or positive environment.
I totally get that. And sometimes, well, first of all, you have to nurture that too. And like you said, you didn't really know what that meant when you were younger. And, life has a way of growing you up really fast. And, you tend to migrate to things, situations, people that make you feel good at the end of the day. Wouldn't you just want to migrate to people and things and situations that make you feel good? Well, that's positive energy. When someone is negative and putting you down, has nothing good to say, right? That's bad energy. And at the end of the day, really, it is, preserving yourself. And it's okay to be reserved. It takes all kinds of personalities to build a nation, to come together, to make change, to unite, actually. If we were all the same, we wouldn't learn anything from one another.
Thank you. You got it. Exactly. Our differences is what makes us unique. It's an opportunity to learn from one another. Imagine we all cannot look the same in terms of our complexions, our height, the way our face are shaped, our nose, our eyes. It's an opportunity just to appreciate the beauties that are around you.
That's absolutely right. And that's, again, you're migrating to the difference that you see in a person, and it's the energy that emits from that person. And if you're received, because not everybody receives that either, because they don't know how, they refuse to, they're just not open. So at the end of the day, be present, remain open, right? There's this quote, make being open-minded a habit. How about that?
Yeah.
So Rama, it has been so wonderful to have you on the show, and I wish you the most success in life, and I know that our journey has not ended. It has just begun. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, and I plan to connect with you and collaborate with you for years to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nancy. Thank you. I really appreciate you giving me the time to explain and express myself and also inspire and motivate others. Thank you.
You did just that. Thank you. All right, guys. So listen, up next week, we have Renee Washington. She is going to be on the show next week. She is an ESPN sports newscaster, and she is a former athlete as well. You do not want to miss what Renee Washington has to say next week. Listen, I want everyone to have a wonderful upcoming week. Remember, it's not only what Dr. Nancy knows, but it's who she knows. Bye for now.
Optimal health requires you to perform at your peak potential. Start today. Be the change you wish to see in the world. This was Dr. Nancy Knows. Thank you for connecting. We're waiting for you on our next broadcast here at EMR, E Motion Radio.